Mr. Tracy, 6-month owner that has 7,000 promotions, is going to run a meeting. So if you do not have a notebook, that's fine. Just use the door, we leave them open, and you can just write some take notes. I'm super juiced. Are you juiced?
I'm juiced.
I'm juiced.
I'm juiced.
Ask where the party people are.
Where the party people at? Where they at?
Hey, Paulie, could you turn down the music? Thank you, Mr. Tracy!
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I was supposed to stay here until like Tuesday. I was going to be here for the rest of the week with you guys, but I have to go back for business reasons, so I had to change my flight till today. It's going to suck. I wanted to be in Chicago. I wanted to have New Year's and spend some more time in the office with you guys and Jared. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a meeting which goes over mentality, because you guys are going to start going into colder weather. I'm from Minnesota, even though I'm living in LA where it's like 70 degrees right now. I'm from Minnesota. I lived up there for a long time. Then I moved down to Texas because one, it was very cold up there. I'm tired of being cold. And then I moved down to Texas and I dealt with 130 degrees while playing football. So I was like, when I get promoted, bring me to I was about to say Louisiana.
Who that, baby?
No. So I wanted to go to LA. So I know how it is out here, and I'm trying to tell my people back in LA, like, guys, 60 degrees is not bad. I looked up, I'm going to be honest, they're soft up there, over there. I seen yesterday they were in the group chat and they were already, y'all know the hand warmers?
Yes.
They were already posting those like, hey guys, if you need these, they're like $10. I went and checked. I got off the plane. I went and checked the weather for LA and it's 58 degrees. And so we had a huge blowout in just mentality a few days ago, and even Richard was like, hey, look, when it gets cold in Chicago, please let me know. Me and Tracy will fly you guys out to Chicago, and you guys can spend a week here when it's negative 20 degrees or something, But for some of you guys, you probably haven't felt that yet going door to door, and it's a huge mentality. And you guys are growing. You guys want to get to 35 leaders. There's a culture you have to build here, but there's also a mentality and a standard that you have to have in yourself, which I want to go over today. All right. So, what is this? What does this look like?
Crock pot.
Who said a crock pot? Pot, even. All right. In here is boiling water, right? For the business, boiling water is negativity. The boiling water is adversity, a breakup, a flat tire, being late, things like that. That's what the boiling water is. It's everything that's negative in your life. Okay? What is this right here?
A carrot.
It's a carrot.
That's a nice carrot. That is a nice carrot.
That's good. What do you guys think this is?
Potato.
Egg. An egg. It is an egg.
A bean.
It's an egg. Yeah? Now, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how to draw it, but what do y'all think this is?
A bean. It's a peanut.
Coffee bean. It's a coffee bean.
We got art class. Yeah.
I draw. I try and draw.
I'm a visual man.
All right. So, here's boiling water. This is the pot. It's on full blast. That's just how the training is. It's going to be on full blast. Whenever you're getting close to something, there's always going to be a hiccup. You guys, anybody who got promoted, when it was getting close to either a level 2 position, what's up, boo, or anything, there's something that always happened. And every day you're probably always going through something negative. Some family member talking in your ear. Why are you out there so late? Damn, you're in the cold. It's freaking cold. Like, go find a regular job. Like, that's all negativity. That's all adversity. You're always going to go through that. You're going to go through that in this job, or if you're going to work at Target. And what I always preach in my office, which Jared knows, I preach that, hey, look, if you don't like this job, you go work at Target. But the funniest thing is, I actually got a text because one of the girls who used to work with us is actually working at the Target, right across the street from us. And I said, look at it. You can either finish this training or you can work at Target. No, but that's adversity, okay? When you put a carrot in a boiling pot of water, what happens to the carrot?
It gets soft.
It gets soft. The same thing with people in this business. Whenever you get into adversity, you get soft. You weaken. And those are people that you don't want on your team. That's somebody you don't want as a leader. But that happens. There's people in this business that become carrots. Do they last? No. They might last a little bit, but they're not always going to. Don't be a carrot. All right? When you put an egg in a hot pot of water, what happens to the egg?
It's hard.
It gets hard on the inside. It starts cracking on the outside, but on the inside, it's just internally just hard. That, I don't know if you guys use the term leader land.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so probably one of you guys, I don't know, but probably some of you guys may feel this, but you're stuck in leader land. You get into leadership, you're high rolling, things like that, then you get adversity. You can't get people on your team, or you start sucking in the field, you start sucking here, you're not getting interviews well, then you just start becoming more internal. You hide in your emotions. You just become an egg, to where you're a boiling egg, to where you're cracking on the outside, to where you can see it. You come in with a dark attitude or a dark cloud. Hey, Steven. Hey, guys. Hey, what? All that. But that internally, you're holding all your emotions in. You're not reaching out to your upline. You're not communicating because you want to hold everything in. And that's the tough thing about people who are leaders and get stuck in leader land. You don't do your one-on-ones. You don't reach out. You don't do anything. When you're struggling in the field, you don't reach out. When you can't freaking close somebody in an interview, you don't try and figure it out. You just hold everything in and you say, it's all right, I'll try again the next day. And then every time you keep being an egg, at one point you're just going to be a carrot. You're going to get soft and you're going to wither out. The last one, coffee bean. This is what I tell everybody in my office to be. You should wake up and want to be a coffee bean. And I'm about to explain why. No, I got pictures in my office of a coffee bean, a carrot, and an egg. And with a sign now that says, which one are you today?
Oh, I like that.
You guys are going to see why. When you throw a coffee bean in boiling water, what happens? When you throw a coffee bean into negativity, into adversity, all this, what happens to the water? What does the coffee bean do?
It becomes
transforms.
It transforms. It changes the environment it's in. Exactly. So a coffee bean, the smallest thing out of all this, changes the whole environment of the room, changes the whole environment of the culture, the whole environment of the family, whatever you guys want to use it for. But now, the whole environment is changed just by a little coffee bean. So when you wake up, you tell yourself, I'm going to be a coffee bean. No matter what happens with me coming to work, no matter what happens with me at work, no matter what happens after work at home, going into the next day, I'm going to be a coffee bean because I'm going to change the situation. If I'm struggling in the field, I'm going to be a coffee bean and figure out what can I fix. If I'm struggling at home with my relationship with my lover or something, I'm going to be a coffee bean and change that environment for myself. And you have to be a coffee bean. And here's the thing. At any point, who's all assistant managers or owners? Raise your hand. Have y'all ever struggled through the training?
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to quit?
Yes.
But you stayed in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it made you stronger. What happens when you leave coffee in hot water?
Get coffee.
But the coffee gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's why you have to be a coffee bean, because you got to stay in the fight. Don't be the one to quit. Do not go work at Target. I don't want to reach out to Steven and say, hey, what happened to this person? Oh, he quit. All right, go check. He's probably working at Target. Don't be that person. The longer you stay in the fight, even though you feel like, oh gosh, how am I going to pay my bills? I felt that way. Oh my God, how am I supposed to have a life? I felt that way as well. All this stuff that happened throughout my time in the training, I felt the same thing. I'm fresh out, 6 months out of the training. So I felt it all. The only thing that made me different is I was a coffee bean because I stayed in the fight. And because I stayed in the fight, just like coffee, when you put a coffee bean in hot water and it makes it stronger, I got stronger because of it. And the longer you stay in, when you're struggling, when you're in a slump, when you can't build a team, when Steven's not doing one-on-ones with you because he doesn't believe in you, when no one else believes in you, be the coffee bean for yourself and believe in yourself, because you're going to become stronger. But you have to believe that. So every day when you wake up, ask yourself, am I going to be a carrot today? Am I going to be an egg? Or am I going to be a coffee bean? But you got to choose. Nobody else. So I go around and I can see people's faces in my office. I'm like, you're being a carrot today. Or you're an egg. But here's the thing. If you're an egg, the only way to get from an egg to a coffee bean is just your mentality. You just tell yourself, okay, look, it's mentality in action. How am I going to fix it? What do I have to do? However, here's the sucky thing. And it's a theory. Rumor has it, it's a theory, and studies from Delaware. It's a study from Delaware, not from me, not my own opinion. But for carrots, you can't change a carrot into an egg. The reason why I'm about to, some tough love, is when you're a carrot, that means you're weak. You're mentally weak, you're soft, and you probably got that from your parents, because your parents are soft, they quit stuff, and then you're just getting stuff from them to where you're just genetically just being soft. You know, because your parents taught it, they quit everything, things like that. Your uncle quit, your mom quit, your grandma quit, to where all you guys have in your family is carrots. You know, and it's hard to choose from, to switch from that. It's a lot of work, but you can do it, but it's very hard. And not too many people come from a background where where their families are all successful. I didn't. You know, some of you guys did, but you made a choice. You know? And so if you feel like every day you're a carrot to where this training is breaking you down, then reach out for help. You know, ask somebody, help me, please. But if you're already a coffee bean and you're not promoted, then get fucking promoted. You know, so you can change your environment somewhere else. You know, because the biggest thing that that helped me whenever I became an owner, I knew I was a coffee bean, was whenever you're promoted and you go to another office, you're not just changing the people's lives here in the office. I was on a national call, I don't know if you guys were on it, like 4 weeks ago. Jared actually sold, what was his name? Robert? The Ready Refresh.
Oh yeah, the guy that runs logistics, like all the deliveries and stuff for territory by us.
Yeah, so our whole territory, he actually sold them at the Sam's Club, the head guy for the Ready Refresh plant, you know. And so he was talking to him, he was like, bro, tell your owner to come to the office. And so like 3 days later, I called him, and we talked, and he was like, yeah man, come up to our facility. I went up there, I got to see all the Ready Refresh trucks, I got to see where they hid all the drinks. I was like, all right, can I get some of that? You know, and it was cool because when I got up there, I got to speak in front of, just like you guys, I got to speak in front of all the delivery drivers, all the logistics team, everybody in the warehouse. You know, and every time I was meeting new people, they kept shaking my hand. They're like, thank you, thank you. I was like, why are y'all thanking me? So, because y'all came in, we were the worst performing sector on this side of the country. But because you and your team from Texas came over here, which they knew I came from Texas as well, since y'all came over, we have a 46% increase in revenue.
Dang, let's go!
And like they were saying, like by this point, we wouldn't have work. Usually by this time in the last 9-10 years, we wouldn't have this much work. And so that was the biggest thing about it, is like I was a coffee bean, I decided to change the environment, and because I made that mental switch in the training, now not only am I changing people's lives like Jared, where he's 19, about to make just break family barriers for himself, I was also breaking family barriers for truck drivers. There's one guy who's like, bro, I just bought which is dumb as hell, don't do it. But he's like, I just bought a $750,000 house for me and my wife and my 2 kids. I would not have been able to do it. And these are the truck drivers. You know, these other dudes, they're making 6 figures in that business because we came over there. But it was because I made a choice to be a coffee bean in the training. And I didn't quit. To where I'm not just affecting people in my office, I'm affecting people's, like truck drivers and their families. They're now ready to freaking have a trust fund and all this money and all this stuff just because I was willing to be a coffee bean in the training. And so for you guys, wake up every day, and when you know you're feeling like a carrot, tell yourself, I'm not going to be a fucking carrot. I'm going to be a freaking coffee bean. Can y'all do that?
Oh, yeah!
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from there.
Thank you, Tracy!
Thank you, Tracy!